Okay, so have you ever felt like your badminton game is just a little off? Like you've got that killer smash, the lightning reflexes, but those shots just aren't landing quite where you want them to?
Oh, absolutely.
We obsess over our badminton shows, right? Spend ages finding the perfect racket weight and grip size. But what about the strings?
Yeah.
You've sent in some stuff about this Badminton Stringing Workshop, and I have to say, it's opening my eyes to a whole new level of customization in badminton.
Definitely.
What's fascinating is that we often treat our rackets like they're just one solid piece. But the strings are the real connection between you and the shuttlecock. They're what translate your energy and intention into the shot. It's like the difference between driving a car with worn-out tires and a fresh set. You might have the same engine, the same driver, but the control and responsiveness are completely different. This workshop seems to go way beyond just the mechanics of stringing and into how it affects your game.
Exactly. This workshop dives into why stringing is like tuning a musical instrument. A loose guitar string will sound dull, while a tight one might snap under pressure. It's the same with your racket. Different string materials and tensions have a huge impact on your racket's sweet spot. That's the prime area where you get the most power and control.
Oh, okay.
Imagine hitting a clear bracket that falls short because your strings are too loose, or struggling to control a drop shot because they're too tight.
Wow.
And it's not just about finding the right tension, it's also about the type of string. Natural gut, for example, is known for its incredible feel and responsiveness, while synthetic strings offer more durability and power. This workshop promises to reveal these secrets, teaching you how to choose the right combination for your playing style and really customize your setup.
This is what has me so intrigued. It's not just a theoretical deep dive into stringing. This workshop seems incredibly hands-on and immersive.
You're right, it sounds like they throw you right into the action. Day one focuses on building a strong foundation. You'll learn about different string types, everything from natural gut to high-tech synthetics, get to grips with the tools of the trade, and master those fundamental stringing techniques.
Wow.
And get this, you actually get to string your first racket by the end of day one.
Wow, talk about a crash course. That's amazing. Okay, but what about day two? What happens when you've mastered the basics? Day two is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, they dive into these advanced stringing patterns. Think of it like weaving a strategic web onto your racket, designed to optimize your shots.
Wait, hold on. Different stringing patterns. I have to admit, I never even considered that.
It's like pretty cool.
How does that even work? And like, what difference does it make?
So imagine the strings on your racket, not just as straight lines, but as a network of forces, right, that affect how that shuttlecock rebounds.
Okay.
These patterns actually manipulate those forces, influencing things like the size and shape of your sweet spot, how much string movement you have, and even the durability of the string bed.
Wow.
It's pretty fascinating how, seemingly subtle changes in the pattern can create noticeable differences in your game.
Okay. That's blowing my mind a little bit. So you've got the basic stringing down, you're diving into these advanced patterns. What else is in store for day two?
Well, remember how we were talking about tension?
Yeah.
Day two is where you really unlock those secrets. You'll experiment with different tension levels and learn how even a couple of pounds of difference can dramatically change your control, power, and even the feel of the shuttlecock on the strings.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So if you're someone who struggles to clear the backcourt, a slightly higher tension might give you that extra pop. Or if you're all about touch shots and deception, a slightly lower tension could give you incredible feel and control at the net.
Wow.
It's all about finding that sweet spot for your game.
It's like you're not just learning to string a racket, you're learning to calibrate it to your exact playing style.
You got it. And that's not all. Day two also gets into tailoring string setups for different playing styles. Are you a powerhouse smasher who loves to dominate from the backcourt? Or are you more of a strategic player, relying on control, precision, and deception?
Right.
This workshop teaches you how to choose the right string type and tension combination to maximize your strengths and compensate for any weaknesses.
Okay.
It's like having a custom-fitted suit, but for your badminton game.
Day two sounds pretty intense. So much to learn and experiment with. What could they possibly pack into day three?
Day three, oh man, they really up the game.
Okay.
It's like you become almost like a racket whisperer.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna be able to take everything that you've learned and then really get into some pro-level problem solving. Like, you know those times when your racket just feels off?
Right.
But you can't put your finger on it. They teach you how to figure that out.
Wow. So you really do kind of become like a racket surgeon in a way.
Totally, yeah. You're going to learn how to identify and fix like all those common stringing issues. That could be messing with your game.
Okay.
Things like uneven tension, string slippage, even how to tell if like a string bed is starting to wear out, you know.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so you're not just learning how to string, you're learning to like diagnose every little thing that could be going wrong.
And by day 3, you got the knowledge and the skills to do it all yourself.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've gone through all 3 days of this like intensive workshop, and honestly, it sounds incredible. But let's bring it back to our listener. What's the real takeaway here? Why should someone consider taking the time to master this craft?
I mean, it's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And it really depends, I think, on like your relationship with badminton.
Okay.
Let's start with someone who, you know, they love to play. Imagine having the knowledge to maintain your own equipment, experiment with different setups, find that sweet spot for your game, and maybe even troubleshoot those, you know, annoying little issues that have been messing with your shots.
It's like you're not at the whim of whoever your local stringer is anymore.
Right.
You can be in complete control.
Totally. You are in control. It's pretty great. Now think about coaches. For them, this could be huge. Not only can they use this knowledge to like, you know, better advise their players on equipment choices, but they could even offer stringing services as like an additional skill set.
Oh, right.
It's a way to like give back to the players, help them improve their game. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be about, you know, coaching.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a badminton enthusiast. You love to tinker. You love to learn new things.
Yeah.
This workshop could be like your gateway drug
Okay.
into turning your passion into, you know, a side hustle. I mean, there are tons of players out there who would love to have a reliable stringer that they can trust.
That's a great point. It could even be like a fun social thing, you know?
Oh boy.
Gathering with some other badminton enthusiasts, sharing tips and tricks, maybe even having a little stringing competition now and then.
Right. It's about more than just, you know, knots and tensions, a whole community. You know what this whole conversation reminds me?
What's that?
Of a friend of mine. He's a solid badminton player, always looking for that edge.
Right.
You know, to take his game to the next level. He was convinced that he needed to go out and drop hundreds of dollars on the latest racket technology.
Okay.
He was sure that was like the secret.
Right.
But then he met this older gentleman at his club. Bit of a stringing guru, if you will.
Okay.
And this gentleman convinced my friend to let him restring his current racket. Same racket.
Okay.
Just different strings and tension, tailored to his style of play.
What happened?
It was incredible. He said it was like night and day. He was suddenly getting more power and control on his smashes. His drop shots were dying quicker, and he felt way more connected to his shots.
Wow.
Completely changed his perspective. He realized it wasn't about having the most expensive gear. It was about understanding how to optimize what he already had.
It's like you said before, it's about becoming a racket whisperer, really understanding the subtle language of your equipment.
Exactly. It's that extra bit of knowledge and attention to detail that can really unlock that hidden potential in your game and maybe even in yourself.
So if you're listening and this resonates with you, consider checking out that Badminton Stringing Workshop. It might just be the key to not just playing the game, but truly mastering it.
We're the best.